What's up, guys? It's here your host Alwyn again on another Tectonic Talks here. I've been active on my Spotify or my Tectonic Talks podcast, but if you're listening from my podcast, go check out my YouTube channel called Tectonic Talks. I only have 2 subscribers, so my goal is to get to 10 subscribers. Let's get to 10 subscribers. Let's start off small. Let's go ahead and if you're watching this, help me get to 10 subscribers. We're going to start off small. So if you're listening on my Spotify or any platform in terms of there, go ahead and just give me a subscribe button. I promise you won't regret. My content's mainly just to helping people make sure they reach their goals in terms of if they want to be into IT or don't know what career to start with. And also just telling you my personal experience because I started with zero knowledge, zero degree, no certifications, and moved my way up. So it was a challenge, but I did it and it worked out for me. So definitely check out my YouTube channel, my Spotify if you want to learn more. And like I said, I just like learning. I'm the type of person that likes technology and I'll inform you of any technology or any cybersecurity news. And I do sky baiting too as well. So definitely hit that subscribe button on the YouTube channel side. And if you're listening again from the podcast side, go definitely check out my YouTube channel. I've been really active there lately, so I appreciate you. And then I also have a Discord server called Cyber Nexus, which I am the co-founder with a wonderful person in the UK that we found the server. Lately's been active, so it's totally been active now. So that's great. It's been active. We were kind of a little bit slow, but definitely check out the server again. It's called Cyber Nexus. I'll leave a link below, so you go ahead and check it out. We have a great community. We have about almost 3,000 users, or 2,000. Yeah, almost 3,000. We're at 2,600, so we would want to make it 3,000 too as well. So definitely check out that server. There's definitely good resources for you if you want to be into IT and get yourself, ready into the IT. Maybe you want to start getting into cybersecurity or just IT and next year. I mean, start today. Why not start today? Go ahead and start today and give it a go. See what interests you, and you could do your research, and then we could definitely help you out, answer questions on that server. Or you could just reach out to me personally, and I could help you out and see what we could provide with you. As you can see right now in my screen background, you can see a live cyber threat map, and this is pretty cool. So I learned this a while back, where you could actually see live attacks, and a lot of these are just bots, as you can see, or actual attacks that are happening in the back end, but it's mostly bots, right? You have those, you have bots scanning your firewall constantly every day. I, for example, have that situation happen to me. There's just scanning from ports. I get an alert from Snort. Snort tells me, hey, so and so was blocked because they were trying to scan certain ports. That's why security is always important. Not that most of us think that cybersecurity is important or security is important, but not most of us. And that's what companies lack of nowadays, where something happens or they don't, MSPs or people sell them some cybersecurity cool features or technology, and next thing you know, they're like, no, we don't need that, not right now. But then they have an attack and now they want to buy everything. But let's prevent. The more layering you have in your organization and the more layering you implement into your own security, the better it is, right? I think hackers are out there. They're still pretty smart, developing new things, especially with AI nowadays. It's pretty challenging, so I don't blame you, but it's always to be safe than sorry, right? So, yeah, make sure you invest in your security. I know it's not cheap, it is expensive, but definitely shop around and see what you find. Okay, in today's topic, I want to talk about a recent breach. You guys probably know him by the name of Andrew Tate, the real world. I think he's a great guy. He does some, great content and, motivation and stuff like that. So I like his content. I mean, he's pretty cool. A recent breach happened, right? So it says that exposed from approximately 800,000 users hacktivists access and shared username and emails and chat logs. Exploiting unpatched vulnerabilities, the platform security has described as hilariously insecure, allowing attackers to manipulate chats and ban users. Tate currently is facing legal issues in Romania, hasn't responded. Affected users are advised to change passwords, enable two-factor authentication, and monitor the digital footprint for signs of identity theft. So yeah, unfortunately, this happened. I mean, like I said, as a person, Andrew Tate is a great person, but in terms of security, I think he needed to harden his system. Once you're maybe making money and stuff like that, you forget about that, right? You forget about the important stuff about security, because again, you have sensitive data in those servers. People forget about it. So I think that's one of the things that we need to start thinking moving forward. If it's an online business or you're going to do any type of online business or just any business in general, security is the most important thing you need to think about. Of course, implementing technology and everything. If you need to hire a programmer or anything like that, that's totally important as well. I totally agree with that. We also need to think about security, your data of your customers, if it's secure, if someone were to get exposed, or maybe honeypots, buy some of those, or implement some of those. You could buy some of those, of course. I remember in a podcast called Canary. Canary makes really good honey pots, so shout out to them. Not a sponsor of this video, unfortunately, but Canary does have a good honey pots out there, and yeah, they're great. So again, security is important. Unfortunately, if you were part of that real world hack, you must change your password, enable two-factor authentication, and monitor your digital footprint for signs of identity theft. If you're looking for a monitoring system that would monitor your social security and anything like that, I would recommend Malwarebytes. Unfortunately, not the sponsor of this podcast either, or this video. But Malwarebytes are also incredible. I've owned them for years, and they're great. Unfortunately, I don't have their service of monitoring, to be honest with you guys, but I do have their AV antivirus system, and it's great. It's always been great for me. I've heard some good things about the monitoring system that they have. Some of my friends have it. Unfortunately, why the reason I don't have it through Malwarebytes is because my work has something similar, which is called Legal Shield and ID Shield. So it's a package that you come, legal advice, and also ID Shield, where monitors any unsuspicious activity, not just for me, for my family as well. So that's always great because you could tell who's using your identity or who's trying to, use your identity for scamming, which is great. So that's unfortunate, but I hope they kind of, recover from this. I don't know if there's going to be a response from Andrew Tate about this, but hopefully there is. Again, just make sure you monitor in situations like that. You change your password, enable two-factor authentication, and just go through the list of things that you must do. I mean, to give you guys a rundown of what exactly you can do in this situation is, again, watch out for fake vendors. Take your time. Consider not storing your card details on browsers or anything like that. If you do, I always recommend a password manager, right? If I have Bitwarner, it's been great for me. I even have the paid version. It's super simple. LastPass, you could use LastPass, but unfortunately for me, they lost my kind of confidence due to the lack of a password breach that they recently had. Anybody could get that, but I decided to switch. I did have LastPass, but I switched over to Bitwarner. So definitely check them out. Bitwarner is, for me, one of the best so far. Could that change? Possibly. Yeah, it could change. Nobody knows, right? But for me right now is Bitwarner. Moving along, this was from an article about medical testing company Life Labs, which I've seen them a lot promoting these stuffs online. Failed to protect customer data, reports fine. So it says a recent report reveals that Life Labs, a Canadian medical testing company, failed to protect the personal and health data of 8.6 million users affected by a 2019 ransomware attack. The company lacked proper security practices, collected excessive data, and delayed notification users about the breach. Although LifeLab paid the ransom, details about the group involved remaining undisclosed. User and urged to monitor the potential identity theft risks. So again, there's a lot of parts here on this kind of article, and I'll leave a link to the articles if you want to read more into them. But it is important that again, you got to think security wise from the beginning, right? If you don't, you're going to get bit, right? Like this company has. And nothing against the company, everybody makes mistakes. We're all humans, but at the same time, you got to think layering your security. If you're not layering your security, you're not putting layers of security into your company, then you're asking for cyber criminals to be attacked. Now, most of the hackers, do actually are targeted attacks, right? Meaning companies like these companies that have billions and millions of dollars. So you would think that they would buy the best technology out there, but they never do, right? In most of the cases I've seen, it's an end user. So it could be the company has the best hardening system or AV installed on the servers, but it's the users that lack the understanding, the precaution. Okay. Like, for example, I work in a company where there's been several cases where users click on a link that they thought it was Microsoft, right? They put in their information and now they got their account compromised, right? So that's unfortunate because now they have access to certain things. And maybe that user has a certain access that they need and they'll start digging around, which is unfortunate. So again, your weakest link is always going to be your end user. So it is important to teach them and help them understand about security, right? So that's why there's these user policies that companies implement for them to understand and the risk and what kind of reputation or what kind of impact it would cause if this were to happen to them. Now, another thing that caught my attention here is that they pay the ransom, right? Of course, if it was data that they needed and they couldn't recover because they didn't have backups, paying a ransom might be a good idea, right? Let's be honest, might be a good idea, but necessarily you don't know what um the organization or the hackers might do with that data. You might pay them a certain amount of money, but they might not give you all full access to the data. And now you're screwed, right? Or they might have a second clone of your data selling on the dark web. So you paid them and then the data is out there. So now what? Now people are going to start logging in and using that information out there that's free, or they're selling for a certain amount, trying to get into their information, especially being in the medical, kind of testing company. It's a very sensitive information because we have HIPAA involved and all these other policies. But again, it's just the risk that this company, specifically Life Labs, took because of not maybe layering, right? We want to be careful because maybe they were layering, they had the best or the most effective um, software out there, but it was an end user mistake, that caused that problem to happen. But that is unfortunate again. But in a good part, we're going to end with the good article, which it says Interpol's global anti-cybercrime operation results in arrest of 5,500 individuals involved in cyber scams across 61 countries. Authorities seized 300 million linked to financial frauds, including phishing, investment scams, and money laundering. This effort targeted major international criminals networks aiming to disrupt large-scale operations and highlight the global natures of cyber threats. The crackdown underscores the critical needs to the international cooperation in combating outline fraud. So again, this is good. They're actually arresting people and finding those. Like I said, I do sky baiting here, and it's ridiculous, and it's very sad how they legit have a skit. Kind of like they read from what they have to say. You call them, and then they tell you, yeah, this is PayPal, and it's not PayPal, and they're calling from India. And they're telling you to log in. Like I said, I went through the whole process. It's hilarious. They're even happier when you're already logged in into your bank account, right? Quote unquote bank account. And they try to transfer money, and then they add some digits, and they said, hey, now you gotta um send me that money back. One of the funniest scam baits that I've done actually is, you know, the guy telling me to go to Home Depot because I did have like a Home Depot supposedly across my home, and I went there and I actually supposedly bought these cards, and he was telling me don't tell anybody, but then when you buy those cards, you need to send me the code. She was funny. I think a lot of people unfortunately fall for it, you know, so it's sad. So one of the things that we're trying to do is prevent these from scams to come up. That's why these videos are uploaded and I upload these videos. And like I said, I just uploaded a video here on this channel to prevent how to prevent scams. So if you got someone, maybe your grandma or dad or parents or anybody, definitely share this page with them and let them know, because like I said, my job is just to help people out. Like I said, I've done, you know, some research and stuff like that on how to get different tools or anything if you want to go into cybersecurity, how to prevent scams, you know. I think when I was a kid they called me too and I thought it was legit, but then found out it wasn't. So again, be careful out there, guys. Make sure you are, you know, mindful of things. Sometimes, you know, I even made mistakes sometimes where I think it's true, but then I realize and stop myself. Hold on, go back and verify. You know, it happens to the best of us too as well. So don't let that happen. Don't let that happen to you, and be mindful and notice when it is a scam. It is a scam, or when it isn't a scam. You could, if you're not sure, you could call. Right, you call your bank, you call your people, and tell them, "Hey, did you send me a text message? Did you do that?" And they're gonna be like, "No." You're like, "Oh, okay, good. I think I got myself out of trouble because I was gonna get myself into trouble." So definitely check that out. Again, thank you guys for listening or watching. I appreciate you. Again, if you're coming from my podcast, definitely check on my YouTube channel, Tectonic Talks, with only 2 subscribers. Our goal is to get to 10 subscribers by the end of the year. Are we going to be able to do that? I'm pretty sure. I have faith, but if it doesn't, it's okay. We got next year. But again, please let me get to 10 subscribers on YouTube, and I appreciate everybody listening and enjoying my content. Talk to you guys soon.